back to the Sidetrack'd podcast.
Oh my god. What are you talking about? We're really about to do this all over again.
Welcome back to Sidetrack'd. I'm your host, Mary Jo Jessica. It's been a hot minute, but we're not here to talk about that. I was deep conditioning my hair downstairs because I needed to, and then I was all like, I need a deep condition for an hour. Perfect timing. Let's do a podcast episode, you know? I love being black. Like, oh my god. Like just that sentence in general, I'm all like, yeah, I'm deep conditioning my hair, so why not do a podcast episode? Like, just love being black. And how on theme for this episode, because like I like being black, Sweeney loves being white. Like, this is great. No, but that is what we're talking about today. You clicked on this episode, you know why you're here. But basically, the internet, the country's in a tizzy over this American Eagle ad campaign. And I'm not gonna hold you, it was bad. It was bad for a multitude of reasons, all of which we're going to get into today. You know it's serious when I have like literal notes written out because I didn't want to miss any point. Like, you know, if I just started rambling, I would. So we got our points here. We're going to get down to business. But just like a little overview if you haven't seen the ad miraculously. But basically, Sweeney did an ad campaign with American Eagle. And the ads in question were, one, just weird. Like, straight up, let's just say that they were weird. But the whole, like, tagline of the campaign is Sweeney has good genes. And it's supposed to be a play on words, genes being, like, genes that you get from your parents and not genes that you wear. Like, it's like, she has great genes because, like, American Eagle genes, but she also has great genes because she has blonde hair and blue eyes, ? Whatever that means. And like, this is like low-key on brand for Sweeney. Like, I'm not saying that I'm surprised that her, like, recently specifically, her ads have been really, really weird. Like, just like off-putting. Like, I've seen a bunch of discourse about Sweeney ads, and I've chosen, like, for my own sanity, to stay away from them because the stuff that I've gotten unsolicited, like, I haven't liked. It's weird. It's weird to like play, like, I don't know, like, all of her ads recently have been very like overly sexual, and like, call me a conservative, call me what you want. I think that's weird. I think it's weird to just have like I think the ad before this that I saw was like her selling bars of her own soap, but like the actual commercial, like, she's just like in a bathtub naked being all like, just like saying weird stuff. I don't even want to repeat the lines because it's just weird to be referring to like boys in that context. Like, it was just a weird ad altogether. But yeah, everyone's mad about this ad because she's basically like, essentially, by saying that good genes, saying that you have good genes and those genes are blonde hair and blue eyes, is kind of like really white supremacy, like white supremacist-y, because like, what do you mean by that? Like, that's kind of gross, and it's weird, and it's strange. Like, it's giving eugenics, and that's not fun. I know a lot of people have been like turning this into like some, oh, the liberals are mad, but it's all like, I don't think being against eugenics, like, eugenics is like, objectively speaking, bad. There's not actual, like, racism is bad. Like, y'all know this, right? Like, objectively speaking, racism is bad. You guys understand this, right? Like, there's like, you get it? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like we've lost the plot because people who are saying that the ad wasn't that bad or like, that's not what they meant. It's like, then what did they mean? Because I have seen people redo the ad campaign using the same double meaning of a pair of genes and like actual like your genes from like your DNA, and they hit every single time, and they still use the like two ways of the thing. So I'm just all like, why would you sit here and make that be what your tagline is for the campaign? Not to mention that the ad didn't make me want to buy jeans. Like, just Sydney Sweeney being on screen and being like, I wear American Eagle jeans, did not make me want to buy jeans. And on top of that, like, not to like be weird, but like Sydney Sweeney, very much like the way she's sexualized is because of her tits, right? She's not an ass girl. So like she also didn't look amazing in these jeans. Like sometimes, like most of the time actually, when you're watching like clothing ads and stuff like that, the models look really good in the clothes. And like part of you is all like sitting there online looking at people wearing clothes, you're all like, that's not going to look like that on me, but I still want to buy them because they look good on her. The jeans didn't even look good in the ad. Like, her ass was non-existent and the pants didn't fit. So it's weird to like basically only pay attention to the tagline and have the tagline basically like idolize white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird to have that be your like big, like, this is gonna sell, right? And I kept on seeing stuff where they were all like, oh, it's for the stockholders because it was like sexy or whatever, which again, I don't really get the appeal. Like, I do understand that they were trying to make her look like, you know, sexy and like she was talking in this like sultry voice, but like, again, I don't understand like that aspect of trying to, like, that's weird. I don't know. I think it's weird to pander to like stockholders because they're old like white men and you're all like, we should just release like softcore porn and have them send us money. And it's all like, really? This is what we've come to as a society? Like, that's weird. That's strange. But I think that it's also like, I just want to talk about Sydney Sweeney in general because originally, like, I was put onto Sydney Sweeney by I think it's called Everything Sucks. Hold up, let me fact check that. It was a good show. I believe it's called Everything Sucks. That's what I'm feeling in my head. Oh my god, I never turned off the air conditioner. Hold up. I am so sorry for that. We're like, what, like 7 minutes in and the entire time the air conditioner's just been blowing. I apologize, but it is called Everything Sucks. That's how I was introduced to Sydney Sweeney. And then I didn't really see her much until Euphoria came around. And I remember, like, and I have rewatched this interview where she is saying that, like, she doesn't, like, she relates to Cassie in the ways that Cassie is often sexualized in Euphoria, like, kind of against her will. Like, I'm not saying that Cassie doesn't, like, sometimes, like, play into that, but, like, it's kind of like overly sexualizing and only using her for her looks, right? And in this like interview that she's doing, she's all like, I feel like I relate to Cassie in that way because like people often look at me that way and I don't want to be perceived that way, right? And she explicitly said that she doesn't want to be perceived as some sex symbol or whatever. And in like the last 2 years, it seems like she's very much leaning into being a sex symbol, like using it to her advantage. And what I want to say about this is that I think that regardless of who you are in Hollywood, men are going to sexualize you. And I don't mean that to sound dark or like everything is bleak, but it's true. Every single actress is sexualized to a certain extent, regardless of age or looks or whatever, right? So to sit there and be all like, oh, to boost my career, I'm going to play into this, because I don't think it's like the empowering, reclaiming feminist thing to be all like, ooh, guys are going to sexualize me. Well, I'm going to use this to my benefit and get paid for it, because you're going to be sexualized regardless. These people are going to be fans of you, quote unquote fans of you, regardless of whether you play into it or not. They're going to sexualize you and be a fan because they're sexualizing you. So you're still going to reap the benefits of being sexualized, technically. Granted, it won't be like, it'll be kind of against your will if you're not playing into it, but that's fine, because it's going to happen regardless. Like, unfortunately, it's going to happen regardless, but you are going to reap the benefits of that. So I don't think playing into it is like this reclaiming like feminist thing that we make it out to be. Like, I think that like pandering to men to make money is weird. Like, you could make your brand so much more attainable to women and get more money than pandering to men and being all like, well, I know you want to see this, I know you want to see that, so let's like give it to you. And it's like, ew, gross, don't be weird. Because like, I think that it's like inherently like American and capitalistic to have this individualistic mindset that everything I do only impacts me. Like every decision I make only impacts me. And to a certain extent, yes. But especially when you are famous and you're in the public eye, that is, you no longer have that autonomy to just be all like, oh, only my decisions affect me. But usually that's not the case even when you're not famous. You have people in your life, you have friends, you have family, you have other people that you interact with on a daily. Every single decision you make impacts other people around you. But especially when you're in the public eye, you kind of have to be cognizant of the fact that you now represent every single identity you possess, right? So as a woman, if you play into this stuff, you are now, and I'm not saying that she's like setting back women like 1,000 years or whatever, but I am saying that like by acting like this, you are negatively impacting the image of women. You know, like whether you think so or not, everything you do impacts how society perceives women as a whole. Like it's just how it is. And I think that's also what people were trying to get at with Sabrina Carpenter. Now, the way Sydney Sweeney and Sabrina Carpenter differ is that Sabrina Carpenter is kind of just living her life. Do I agree with everything that she's doing recently? No. But I think that a lot of times when people are hating on her, whether it was because she was stealing Joshua Bassett from Olivia Rodrigo, or whether or not she like talks about sex in her songs. Mind you, she's like, 26? So she's allowed to do whatever she wants, right? And I don't think that necessarily is like, you're like, ooh, feminism because you like sex, right? But she's just living her life and it happens to be in front of people. Where I think it differs from Sydney Sweeney is just playing into being a sex symbol. Like she's doing this for men. Whereas I don't think that when Sabrina Carpenter released that album cover of her being submissive, she was like, yeah, I'm gonna get men on my side. I make music for men. How many niggas do you know? Sorry. But no, seriously, but how many niggas do you know who listen to Sabrina Carpenter? Genuinely. Like I genuinely want to see a handful, and they can't be gay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that Sabrina Carpenter sits there writing her songs and it's all like, yes, men are gonna love this. I really don't think that's what she does. Even though, like, nothing about her gives, like, oh, I'm pandering to a male audience. I think she just is a woman who likes men, and therefore a lot of her songs happen to be surrounding her relationships with men. But I don't think any of her music is really like, yeah, I want to have sex with every man who's ever, like, no, like, it's just, but when Sydney Sweeney does these campaigns, which again is also weird in the sense that like she should be like a very like prestigious and well-known actor. Oh, it's rubbing against this. Sorry. She should be a very like high up there actor based on the things that she's done. She was in The Handmaid's Tale. She has a long career for how young she is. I think it's weird that she's doing all these small little campaigns that seemingly have no like good and great benefits to her long-term career. Like that's another thing, that she's going to be playing in this movie as this like famous like female wrestler. I don't know her name. I don't know the story exactly, but the whole thing when she got casted was she was getting a lot of backlash because it's all like, oh, Sydney Sweeney looks nothing like this girl. Like she's just not that type of artist. And then we saw the pictures and she was buff and it seemed like she was taking this role seriously. And to turn around and make all your ads, like I've literally seen no promotion for this movie outside of the pictures that first dropped when everyone was having backlash. But to then go back to playing into this, oh, I'm a sex symbol, I'm this, I'm that, just to get people to watch her stuff is weird and it's lame. To be quite honest, it's lame. I think it's so stupid to sit there and be all like, oh, I'm going to pander to men because that is my best bet. Like, it's almost like saying that you're not good enough on your own to create a fan base that likes you. And she was. That's the thing, that I'm not saying that she's not good enough, but it seems like she doesn't believe that in herself to be going after these, like, to just be pandering to men. Like, I just don't understand it because, like, I'm a firm believer of you can do whatever you want, right? Within reason, obviously. But it doesn't make sense to me sitting there and like, I'm trying to find the right words, but I don't think that Sydney Sweeney's career has gone to where it has because of men, in my opinion. I think that right now she's blowing up because of that, but I think that prior to Euphoria, that wasn't how she was perceived. It's also weird because, like, the whole line where it's all like Sydney Sweeney has great genes is weird because it's all like, this girl has clearly had work done, not on her tits, obviously, but like, that's not what they're trying to reference in it. They're genuinely talking about her white genes. So like blue eyes, blonde hair. Her hair isn't naturally blonde anyways. So it's just like it's a weird ad altogether. And I'm not gonna sit here and like shit on her for like, but I think that she's old enough. Like, everyone's saying like, oh no, it's a play on words, and it's all like, it's literally a dog whistle for eugenics. Like, this is not like chill stuff, especially in the climate that we're currently in. I don't think that we should be taking these things lightly, especially in America, but all across the world. It is never okay to just like be all like, eugenics, whatever. That's weird. Sorry, I didn't mean to scream, but it is so incredibly weird. And like, people who are defending this and being all like, well, whatever. Like, I saw a TikTok and I can't remember his name right now, but he was saying that the more dogs that there are, the less quiet their whistles have to be. And that is like genuinely, like, it feels so weird and dystopian to sit here and have people argue whether or not eugenics is okay to joke about or to play around with. There should have never ever been a question whether or not she was like, if there was an allusion to eugenics. Like, that's the thing, that regardless of the intention or if it actually did, which I personally believe that it did allude to eugenics, there should have never been a question of whether it was alluding to eugenics. You understand? Like, that's strange. Like, especially now, like, it's weird having all these like right-wing like commentators talking about it and being all like, oh, the liberals are mad because she has great genes. And it's all like, this should never have been a conversation. Also, this ad was backed by the White House. You have to understand that that's weird. Regardless of whether you fall in this like argument, which again should not be an argument, the White House backing a actor on a campaign that they did that casually is like alluding to eugenics. The White House is backing that. Are we like, genuinely everything that has happened in the last 8 months or 7 months is so dystopian, and I don't understand why we're not more concerned with what's going on. Like, the other day, the White House posted people being deported to the Jet 2 holiday sound, and nothing about that is normal. I don't care if this is the age of social media. That's weird. That is strange, and we should be questioning why they thought that was okay. Like, I know the White House isn't like necessarily like, I mean, they do have a marketing like team, probably, like, or branding team, I guess, but like, genuinely, that should have never ever seen the light of day. But the thing is, they don't care. That's the problem, that no one cares. If you don't talk about this like this is a problem, they'll continue to not care. And today it's casual eugenics, and tomorrow it's full blown, we're just like this is like softcore Nazism. Like, hello? Are we like, I'm genuinely like just not understanding why we're just like chill about this. On top of that, I think the thing that struck me the most before like the whole eugenic side of it all was the fact that this eerily seemed like the Brooke Shields Calvin Klein ads that happened back in the day. Mind you, I believe she was like 14, 15 when those ads were being filmed. And if you have ever seen those ads, this is like a literal child who is deemed a sex symbol by all of Hollywood, and all these bigger ups in Hollywood are deeming this child as like a sex symbol and treating her as such. And it's an ad of her just being like, they're just like exploiting her body, and she's just in these very like weird positions for a child. And it kind of seemed like when I watched the Sydney Sweeney ad, like originally, like they were kind of doing the same thing and poking fun at that. Like it was low-key like a parody on that, which I find completely and utterly disgusting. Because like the original Calvin Klein ad with Brooke Shields just gives like child porn. Like that's literally what that is. So to have a grown woman recreate this to any extent whatsoever is insanely like insensitive and gross. Like that irked me in the most. Like it made me feel ill watching the ad first time around, like without like the casual eugenics. Like it just made me feel ill knowing that they, like, people sat around and I don't believe that they weren't thinking about that ad campaign at all. Like I don't believe that that was never brought up in talks about making this ad campaign. That is weird that a group of people sat around and they thought this was a good idea. They were all like, yep, full send, let's go. I also saw a thing on YouTube. It was like a news report. I can't remember where it was from. I could actually search it up right now just so that I have my facts right, because I don't want to be misquoting anyone. But where are we? Watch history. Okay. Yeah, I think it was Inside Edition. Yeah. Inside Edition, I believe they said that they got like some sort of quote from American Eagle from Sydney Sweeney. So American Eagle said this is what Sydney Sweeney said. So don't shoot me. But apparently they wanted to make some sexy ad campaign, and they asked her like, what are you feeling like? Like, what do you want to do? And she was like, the sexier the better. Hey, that's not me. But based on that, what the hell is wrong with you? What is literally wrong with you? Like, if you, like, for anyone defending Sydney Sweeney being all like she didn't know any better, one, she's a grown woman. Please don't piss me off. That's number one. Number two, why? Like, I can't see like a genuine good benefit from being deemed a sex symbol, like, at all, especially as a woman in America. Like, I just don't see how that could be beneficial for you, because regardless, like I said before, you're gonna be deemed as a sex symbol anyways. So why are you then playing into it? Like, it's one thing to just exist and be deemed sexy. Like, that happens. It's not good, but it happens. But playing into it is all like, yeah, I'm okay with like just women being sexualized. Like, it's just not, you're not the only person who gets affected when you make these decisions. So I think it's very strange, especially because she does, or she did, I don't know about now, but she had a large female following. So it's just, I don't like where we're going and how this is being talked about. Like, it genuinely doesn't, like, there are so many ways this ad campaign could have gone where we're not casually referencing eugenics and we're not casually referencing child porn. And I think they missed the mark. But on top of that, I think that it's scary to see that people are trying to downplay how this affects society. Like, recently, actually, Billie Eilish was in Ireland. And during one of her shows, she was all like, oh, it's so nice to be here. Like, obviously I'm Irish, and it's so nice to look around and see people who look like me, right? And people got all up in arms about this statement. However, in 2023, she was in Ireland for another show. She said the same thing. And I do believe to a certain extent that it has some truism behind it. I bet she does feel pretty connected to Ireland because she is Irish, right? However, I think what she meant to say was like being around the culture of Ireland, right? In 2023, this didn't blow up. It wasn't that big of a deal. I'm sure people did get mad about it, but no one really knew about it. This time around, everyone's all like, what do you mean people who look like you? You're always around people who look like you. One, your family. Two, you live in America. Everyone that you look at is white and looks like you. I'm like, blonde hair, blue eyes, like Sydney Sweeney is your twin. Like, girl, I know her hair is not blonde right now, but you get the gist. So, like, that is what she looks like. So I think that, like, also this ad campaign coming out this week and also that happening, like, it changes the conversation about how we talk about race. Like, I just which is good. I think to a certain extent that people are calling out like random bullshit. I do think that Billie Eilish didn't mean to be all like, I like white people and I only want to see white people and I hate black people and Asian people and all that stuff. I don't think that's what she meant. I really don't. I'm not defending Billie Eilish. I think it was a poor choice of words. But I don't think she meant it maliciously. But it is something to talk about. That it's weird to sit there and be all like, because like, if she really was sitting there and being all like, yeah, I just like being in a place where there's only white people. It's all like, oh, girly pop, that's weird. That's weird. And I wish I was making up what it sounded like, but that's literally what she said. She was all like, I love looking at other people who look like me. Like, it's just all like, it's weird, but it's a conversation that needs to be had, because if you sit here and you look at it and you're all like, who cares? Like, yes, it's just an ad, obviously, but these people shape how our society runs, you know? And not to mention it's being backed by the White House. Like this left the realm of being just an ad when we started having political commentators talk about it and it started hitting the news. Like, this is not just an ad. This is now like how we're being viewed as a society, like in America. Like, it's weird to sit here, especially American Eagle of all places, and say that you don't care. I think I also saw, I don't know if it, like, I honestly didn't do a lot of research on the video when I saw it, but okay. But I think Sydney Sweeney got on her story and was like crying about how everyone was being mean to her about the ad campaign. But let me, because I couldn't tell if it was about.
And I would never actually do this, like ever. But I think it's really important for people to see how words actually affect people. And
yeah, I don't know. I really, hold up. Oh, did they? Sorry, I'm watching something right now. Real time, breaking news. I think American Eagle released an apology. Hold up. Let me go to Instagram. Let me fact check. Cause I don't want to be leading y'all astray. I want to see what this apology is. Going to their Instagram. Huh. Is this the... Six hours ago, they posted some... I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. 6 hours ago, mind you, I'm filming on Friday, August 1st at 8 o'clock. So 6 hours ago, they go, the quote, Sydney Sweeney has great genes, is and always was about the jeans. Okay. Jeans spelled like the pants, obviously. Her jeans, her story. Will continue to celebrate how everyone wears their American Eagle jeans with confidence their way. Great jeans look good on everyone. This is such a, like, I don't know. Like, everything about this campaign is just, like, so stupid. Like, there's a million pictures and videos on their account of her just being weird and oddly sexual in jeans that don't even fit her. And that's what you want to release as your statement? Hold up. Let me go to TikTok and see. Because the thing that I saw on TikTok says, to whom it may concern, we sincerely apologize for featuring Sydney Sweeney in a recent advertisement. In hindsight, we understand the combined impact of blue eyes, blonde hair, and general hotness. So I don't think this one's real. But the one that I just saw on their page, hello? That's what you have to say after everything? Okay, first, let's talk about Sydney Sweeney's apology video, which I don't know if it's real. Like, I can't figure out. It looks like it was a live that she was apologizing on. I'm not going to hold you. But I can't tell from what year this is. Like, I can't tell if this is, like, in real time. I think it is. But she's basically crying and saying that people need to worry about the words that they're using, because she's probably getting death threats. No bullshit. I don't condone that. I don't think it's ever that serious. I don't think you should ever threaten anyone's life. However, Sydney, Can I call you Sid? Are you dumb? Genuinely. In like the most sincere way possible. What? People need to care about the words that you casually alluded to eugenics. I think you're the one who needs to be heeding that advice. Hello? Like, okay, genuinely, you should not be sending out death threats. Genuinely, that's not okay. However, you have to understand that this backlash is coming because you casually alluded to something that alienates majority of your fan base. Like, hello? Like, I think coming online, because one, I saw a video saying that she wouldn't do this, that she wouldn't come online and cry, but it genuinely seems like you're using your like little white woman tears to get out of this. And so like, me personally, obviously, it's going to be upsetting. You're getting thousands of death threats. I understand that. Or I don't understand that. I've never gotten that. But you know. Sorry, that wasn't funny. Anyways, but you know, sit back and reflect, because I think that there's something to be said to sit there, open up your phone, and I assume that you were already crying before you started going live, but you went live to make people feel bad for you that you're getting death threats without reflecting on why people are giving you death threats. You know what I'm saying? Like, do I think they're right in doing that? No. But genuinely reflect on why people... I hate when people talk in this house. Anyways, genuinely reflect on why people are upset with you. Because I don't think you're getting it for no reason. You know, there's a lot of reasons why people are upset with you right now. And I think that it's genuinely, like, it would genuinely benefit you to take account of what has happened here. Because I don't think you actually care. I really don't. I think getting on live crying is, excuse my language, a bitch move. Hello? Like, I don't know. Like, you can't, I'm not going to sit here and act like she doesn't know what she's doing. This is now, I believe, the third campaign that was weirdly overly sexual. So forget the eugenics. Why are you doing this? It's not in good taste. And those other two ads that she has done weren't received well either. I bet she wasn't getting as many death threats as she's getting now, but they genuinely weren't received well. So why do you continue to do something that you know majority of your fan base? Because I don't think you're getting random death threats from people who aren't already fans of you. I think that a lot of the hate that famous people receive are from people who want to support them but can't anymore because they're shitty people or whatever. That being said, why do you keep on doing this? Why do you keep on putting yourself in positions where everyone hates you? I'm not saying that everyone's going to love you. You're never going to get that. But to put yourself in these positions where you're asking to be hated on is weird, especially the way that you're doing it. I don't think you're upset. I don't think you actually have any remorse for anything that happened, okay? I bet you probably, I don't know. I don't know if she sat there and was thinking about, like, the implications of her saying that she has great genes. I don't think she thought it through enough. I think she's a grown woman. I think she should have. But then again, she's only an actor. So I don't know. I don't know what her upbringing was. I don't know what her education level is. But I will say that you should, this is a lesson to everyone, I guess, about just like marketing yourself and branding and all that stuff. You really do need to take into account what your brand and what your message is. You should really just always really look deeply into stuff. And I know that like on your own, you probably, maybe you didn't understand the eugenics of it all, right? Of you, a white, blonde, blue-eyed individual saying that you have great genes as opposed to anyone else. But I think there's something to be said about actually caring about what you're putting out into the world and how you are perceived. Because I think that part of her getting online and crying and being all like, you guys need to worry about the words that you're using, I think it's just to make other people feel bad for you. And I'm not going to feel bad until you genuinely, like, I think that a genuine apology, or not apology, you know, you can do whatever you want, right? But I think it's weird to sit here after so many girls did look up to you after playing Cassie, which we knew you were playing Cassie. Like, we knew it was a role, but now it's not feeling so much as a role. It feels like you're genuinely just Cassie in real time, in real life. And no one likes that character for a reason. For a reason. Because she centers men in her life. Men who abuse women. Men who, like, do you understand that? Like, I'm acting like I'm talking to you. But genuinely, like, centering a group of people who continuously hate on a group of people that you are a part of is weird. It's weird to cater to them and make content for them, knowing that you're not, like, what does that benefit for the people who do support you, who are in your community? You know, like, the reason people don't like Cassie is because she genuinely is a horrible human being for what she did. She's like, just point blank period. Like, yes, she was going through a lot, right? Cassie goes through a lot, but that doesn't mean that you have to resort to catering to men and putting men above women. That's weird. We already have so many enemies as women. Why would you also want to be a part of that? I don't know. The apology camera died there for a second. Can't remember where we were. In my little closing arguments about this. I'm not gonna hold you, but overall, I think that I don't know. Sydney Sweeney got what she was asking for. It may have not been to the extent that she thought it was going to be, but I think that she wanted something that was provocative and got people talking, and she wanted to be the villain, right? She just did not realize, I don't think that she realized that it would be this bad, because she thought, hey, I make a little sexy ad, whatever, move on with my life. However, it was not perceived that way. And I think when you go into something being all like, I'm trying to be controversial, because there's been a bunch of ads where they're not going into it thinking they're being controversial. It just happens that people don't receive the ad well, and now they have to apologize. You're sitting here and you're playing victim because you knew that you wanted to be the villain. You just didn't want it to be to this extent. Now you're mad at yourself because you put yourself in this situation. All I want to end off this saying is that this is a lesson to all of us in branding. I think that a lot of times, especially now, I'm like a smaller content creator, but I know that I want to be bigger one day. And I think people talk about this a lot with digital footprint anyways. You don't know where you're going to end up. So you have to be intentional with the things that you choose to do. If this is like some move by Sydney Sweeney to be provocative and sexual now, to boost her career, to end up somewhere else, it's going to land her in trouble one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think riding this wave of I'm a sex symbol and I cater to men is beneficial. Like, longevity-wise, I don't think so. That's my personal opinion. That's where I stand. So I think that and I don't think that, like, it was impossible for her as a woman with bigger tits, to, go that route, to be an individual who was taken seriously as an actor. Because there's a lot of actresses in Hollywood who originally are taken as sex symbols, and they're objectified, and it sucks. And then they switch the narrative on their own. Like, there's so many great examples of people switching the narrative on their own and taking over the story without pandering to men. In fact, they do the exact opposite. And that's what a lot of people thought Sydney Sweeney was going to do with this new movie, where she was playing this strong woman who's not necessarily known for her looks. And to shit on all of that, the people who were supporting you, and just like double down and just keep on going. I mean, we'll see where her career goes after this. I think that it won't necessarily tank immediately, I think people in Hollywood, obviously, they're the same people who are like the stockholders at American Eagle. They're going to fuck with Sydney Sweeney because she's a sex symbol. I'm not saying that, but I do want to see how well her projects are received after all of this, because I don't think, like, a year ago you could have said that Sydney Sweeney is being used as like some sex symbol against her will, but now it seems like she's fully just into it. Like, this is what she wants. She wants to be perceived as a sex symbol. This is how she gets her money. This is what she wants. So also, I heard that this entire campaign was $10 million. Fuck. Like, yeah. No, get that bag. It's just, I hope you sleep well tonight. Like, anyways, that's it for today's episode. You can follow the podcast at Sidetrack'd Podcast on Instagram or TikTok if you want to keep up with my life. I got Instagram, I got TikTok, at Mary Jo Jessica on Instagram, at maryjo.jessica on TikTok, and I will talk to you later. Oh wait, hold up, y'all. You see my jeans? They actually fit. Yeah. Give it a little twirl. Ow, 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 bow. Yeah. Put me in your ad campaign, American Eagle, but, you know, leave out the eugenics. But, like, $10 million? I'll shake some ass for some American Eagle cash. Like, what? Anyways,